A new study from the nonpartisan Joint Committee on Taxation finding the Inflation Reduction Act will actually raise taxes on millions of Americans, especially the middle class. The Wall Street Journal editorial board taking aim at the Manchin-Schumer deal, writing, quote, "This gives lie to Democratic claims that no one earning under $400,000 will pay more taxes under this bill," a promise Mr. Biden also made in his campaign. Joining me now, Florida Congressman Carlos Gimenez. He's a member of the House Homeland Security and Transportation and Infrastructure Committees. Congressman, always a pleasure to see you. So it raises taxes on almost all Americans, and it crushes this new 15% minimum tax. About 50% of it will be borne by manufacturers. How did they concoct this, and how do they think that in an election year other Democrats will get on board with it?
Well, I think they live in a bizarro world. Everything is upside down. I mean, if you want, all the policies of President Biden has just gotten us to this place. We're in a place where we have inflation roaring out of control. We have higher interest rates, and now we have a recession. I call that the triple play of misery. And then on top of this, you get this, monstrosity of a bill that actually does raise taxes on every single one of us because the IRS is going to come after us. So if you really like to get audited by the IRS, you're going to really like this bill.
Did the Republicans in the Senate, though, Mitch McConnell and the 16 other Republicans who voted for the semiconductor bill, that CHIPS spending bill, did they get duped? Because, again, you got these Republicans on board, 17, 15 of them are not running for a re-election in the midterms. Only 2 of them are, with the expectation that Joe Manchin, that this reconciliation, this spending bill was dead. What happened in the Senate?
Yeah, I think a lot of them did get duped. I think, Mitch McConnell got duped on this, and I think that he's really upset about it. I mean, you should keep your word. Somebody must have told him that, hey, this thing is dead. That way, that thing can move through. The vast majority of Republicans in the House voted against that CHIPS bill. We can do better once we take control of the House, and so that's the reason why I voted against it. I do believe we need to invest in American technology. I do believe we need to bring businesses back to America, especially manufacturing. And so at a time when we want to bring those back, this bill actually puts a tax on those bills that those companies that we're trying to bring back to America. Again, totally, nonsensical, doesn't make any sense at all what they're trying to do. Everything that they do is kind of backwards. If you want to incentivize companies to come back to America, you don't raise taxes on them. And so this bill doesn't make any sense in any way, shape, or form.
The Biden administration quietly approving a portion of border wall construction in Arizona. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre downplaying the decision Friday when pressed by Peter Doocy from Fox News. Listen to this.
Why is the Biden administration building a border wall in Arizona?
We're not finishing the wall.
By finishing the wall, is this?
We are not finishing the wall.
By filling in, finishing?
We are not finishing the wall.
By filling in, is this racist? Because in 2019, when the former guy was proposing a wall, you said that it was his racist walls.
It's ineffective. We are not finishing a wall. We are cleaning up the mess that the last administration made.
Congressman, you were recently at the border. Your reaction to that?
The border is completely out of control. Why they're building a portion of the wall, there must be some other reason that we're not privy to. Because actually what they did is they stopped construction of the wall and they paid the contractors that were constructing the wall not to construct the wall. So you're using taxpayer money to let the contractors sit there and not construct the wall. Again, total waste. The Customs and Border Patrol agents told us repeatedly that finishing the wall is a huge deal to them. It's a force multiplier. But this administration has no intent on really securing our border. This administration is very happy with what's going on at the border. We've had over 2 million encounters, plus we have about 500,000 people that have crossed the border that we know of, that we don't know anything about. And then there's another 500,000 probably that we don't know about. So there's about 1 million people, 1 million immigrants this year alone that have crossed the border. We know nothing about who they are, why they're here, where they're going, nothing. And so this is all due to the failed policies of President Biden, which I believe are actually done on purpose. So this whole thing is not done on purpose. I don't know why he's finishing up that little portion of the wall. They've got a better idea than I do.
Congressman, great to see you. Congressman Carlos Gimenez, please come back. Enjoy.
I will, absolutely.
Where are you right now? What's that behind you?
I'm in. No, it's Miami. It's my beautiful hometown of Miami, and very proud of this city and what we've done here.
I have an apartment in Miami, and I would be living there and be a permanent resident of your fine city and state if I could right now. Coming up, thank you so much, Congressman.